Welcome to C4. Let's meet the teams. Hello, John.
Hi, Rob.
How are you?
I'm very well.
You once again resemble a ginger Hitler. Why is that?
Well, actually, I only have the goatee. I don't have the stash.
Okay, he didn't have the stash. The stash of what? Okay, and also we're joined by Amy. Hello.
Hi.
Your earrings are big.
Yeah, I put as the biggest earrings I had on. So.
Very good. You could probably get John Artman's head through those. Anyway, please do. And on the right we have Stuart Wiggin. Hello.
Hello.
You're looking very smiley. Why is that?
Because it's Christmas. Well, it was Christmas.
It
It's
was
not anymore.
Christmas. Don't forget, we're recording. And also we've got Jing Jing. Hello.
Hello.
Did Lao Law give you the day off?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a very nice man, isn't he?
Because he knew that I was coming here.
I've heard that he's quite cute as well. Anyway, let's move on to the first story, please. What is the relevance of this subway? Yes, John Artman came in first.
A man fell onto the tracks at c4e station of Line 1 here in Beijing.
Don't give all the details.
And he was saved by a bunch of Chinese Good Samaritans.
I think in honor of being saved, we should have a short song where we salute. Do 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 da 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 da. Yes.
I live here. Well, not there.
You live in a subway station.
Well, I live in this
CRI
area.
pays you very badly.
Yeah, I live at this area, and I go to the subway station every day.
And did you actually see the accident occur?
I didn't witness it. No.
Did you push him onto the tracks?
No, I
again.
didn't. No, but I can see how it could happen because in the morning there's so many people on. There's no barriers, and I often see fights break out actually on board the train.
Have you ever been involved in one of these fisticuffs?
No, but I've been watching. They're very interesting.
Okay, you stand away from a distance and just record it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they fight over being shoved and things like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever been shoved on the subway here in
definitely.
Beijing?
Almost every day.
How does a big, strong man like you, like the Incredible Hulk, react to being shoved? Do you cry?
No, I just accept it these days.
Okay, you just take the shoving.
I just take it.
Amy, it's not very nice to shove a lady, except in Alabama. But how do you react to it when you're on the subway and people are pushing and fighting?
I like to just throw a quiet elbow.
A quiet elbow.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
And
right?
if you're not that tall, the elbow can go right to the balls. Okay. Jing Jing, what about you? You ever given anyone an elbow to the balls?
No.
What do you
I
do?
will, but so be careful.
Oh, okay. Lucky I'm wearing double trousers, because it's cold, obviously. But anyway, there was also the story of this protester called Meng Zhaoheng. Do you know what she was famous for these days, Stuart Wiggin?
Famous?
Yeah.
No.
She's famous on Weibo, in fact.
Is it something to do with the subway?
It is related to the subway, which is why I brought it up. Oh. Okay, John Artman, how about you?
I think she was protesting because of her son got electrocuted.
At Gulo Station, he got electrocuted back in 2010, but she was carted off by the cops for trying to get people to sign a petition about getting to the bottom of her son's death. Anyway, I've noticed, Amy, that on the subway they have these posters requesting that people behave well.
Yes.
That's okay. Good start. Okay, Jing Jing, do you think such
I've also
posters
noticed.
actually achieve anything?
I don't think so, but it doesn't hurt to put a sign there. It might have some effect.
I would like to point out actually that in my time here in Beijing, the behavior of people getting on and off the subway has gotten slightly better.
I've noticed that too.
So for example, at Guomao, where I get on almost every morning on Line 1,
That's a very wealthy neighborhood, isn't it?
people actually do line up.
Okay, well, obviously you and I have been going to different subway stations, because when I get off the train, especially at a transfer station, there's literally just a solid wall of people. You're supposed to wait to the side, and then everyone can get on through the middle and get off. It's a nightmare.
Sometimes I've got on and I just let the crowd take me. It's like crowd surfing.
You put your elbows up and just let them take you,
arms up, yeah.
Okay,
Don't
but
want to hurt
then you
anyone.
might get an elbow to the balls from dear old Amy.
It's all part of the course.
Okay, bit of a laugh, innit?
Yeah.
But John Artman, you are a civic-minded person. What would you do if you saw someone had fallen on the tracks?
Well, I would certainly try to help them.
It's decent.
But I think in this case it would be quite difficult because apparently he was unconscious and then fell onto the tracks. And so
Would you take a photo?
Probably not.
No.
Okay, well,
That's in poor taste, isn't it?
It is in poor taste, but there are a lot of photos online of the guy being resuscitated and given first aid. Do you know why, Jing Jing, he didn't go to hospital after the incident, despite being very bloody?
Because he couldn't afford the medical expenses.
He could not. You're right. He
Wow.
couldn't afford them. You're absolutely right. But what would you do, Jing Jing, if you saw someone collapsed on the tracks and the train was whizzing into the station?
I would turn to someone stronger than me, like you, and then ask for help.
What if it was me on the tracks?
I would just watch.
Yeah, would you
And
film
then
it?
film it, yeah.
Yeah. And then it would be a C4 story, wouldn't it? Wiggin would take over as the new host. John Artman would be on every week, even though he Anyway, let's move on to the...
I've got a strategy, actually.
hold on. We nearly lost the strategy. Yes, what is it?
Yeah, I learned this from a movie called While You Were Sleeping, which came out in
Sandra
the 90s.
Bullock! Am I right?
Exactly!
We've done it
and
again.
a man passes out and falls on the subway tracks, and she jumps down, the train's coming, she grabs him and rolls in the nook between the subway car and like the side of the track, and I think there's supposed to be some space there.
What if you jumped down and there was no nook?
Well, then I jump back out.
That would be 2 dead people then. But Amy, do you think that's a good way to find a husband?
Well, I think it worked for her in the movie.
It did. Okay, well, if only you'd been in Surway, you'd be married to a delightful Chinese man. Sorry, John, we've had enough now. It's time for the next story. Please. What's the relevance of this image of a man about to eat a baby? Stuart Wiggin has chuckled, but he didn't get in first. It was actually John Artman.
So this is supposed to represent Shanghai is trying to encourage eligible couples to have a second child.
They are indeed. What qualifies or constitutes an eligible couple, Stuart Wiggin?
If they are single childs themselves.
Single childs, yes.
Single children themselves.
Yes, indeed. If it's 2 people that are married that both were single children, then they can have 2 children. What is the problem in Shanghai at the moment with the population, Amy?
They're really old.
They are, well, they're aging indeed. It's not everyone's old. But Jing
That's what I read
do you
from
know
the
the
story.
statistics?
I don't know the statistics, but I'm sure that my teammate knows.
He was
so
just
let's turn
whispering it to you and you weren't listening to him. How unbelievable.
Wiggin.
Stuart Wiggin, let's go to you. What's the statistics?
24.5% of the population at present
Yep.
are over 60 in Shanghai.
What percentage of the Shanghai population will be over 60 in the year 2015?
I'm going to say 30% based on my research.
Based upon what I told you in the practice. That's absolutely right. Although these statistics, they probably just make them up. Anyway, would you think there'd be a problem in America, where you come from, if the government limited the number of children you could have?
Most definitely.
Oh, and what would be the upshot of that trouble?
I don't know, protests maybe?
Protests. Okay. John Artman, why is the population so big in China?
Well, it's a huge country, isn't it? And part of the traditional values is to have a large family.
Is that so? Well, let's move over to our Chinese resident guest from Laoluo School. Laoluo. It's Jingjing. Why do Chinese people love to have big families?
Because we enjoy the feeling of having a big family and having fun together.
Having fun together? Could you not just have friends?
It's a different kind of fun.
Are you a single child?
I am.
Okay. But Stuart Wiggin, what do you think about the situation with the ageing population? Is it going to cause trouble?
Aging population? Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
we're going back to serious news now.
Yeah, well, they won't have... Yeah, it's a bit serious.
What?
I'm not qualified to comment on it, but John recently spoke to someone from the Chinese Academy of Social Science, and they said that the...
oh, hold on, let him tell us then. Why would you tell us when he's here?
Yeah.
Was this for China Talks?
It was indeed.
Or as I call it, China Porks. What did you talk about with this guy?
A woman, in fact.
With this lady.
Yeah, so she was from the China Academy of Social Sciences Institute of Population Studies, and basically she said that her main point was really that the one-child policy is completely unnecessary because
overachieved its goal.
Exactly, and so actually, China's population would have decreased anyway, mostly because of development.
Okay, and now that you've told us that, no one actually needs to watch that episode of China Talks.
Yeah. Do you think they're piping in the Barry White music to make them copulate in Shanghai?
Really? Do you think so?
Or what's the equivalent in China?
Yeah, what kind of music would encourage people to make love in China?
月亮代表我的心.
What about that song like Jolene in the house, DT in the house? Would that make you feel dirty?
That makes me feel that you are dirty.
Oh, she likes it. Anyway,
she's correct.
Let's move on to the next story. Ring-a-ding-ding, please. Okay, what's the relevance of this smiling man being manhandled by a police officer? Oh, Jingjing and Stuart nearly touched each other, but awkwardness was avoided. Yes, Stuart?
He's not manhandling anyone. He's giving out tickets.
He is indeed giving out tickets. Well spotted. There's no abuses of human rights going on here. No. Why is he giving out tickets?
He's doing his job.
Okay, and what is his job?
Following the law.
Oh, this is getting a bit tedious.
Enforcing the law.
Ah, shut up now. Okay, what's going on here?
He's given tickets for jaywalking.
Jaywalking. Now, Jingjing, a lot of people watching this are Chinese. They don't know what jaywalking is. So, what is jaywalking, Amy?
Where you cross the street when you don't have the green man telling you it's okay to
The
go.
green man, indeed. Now, Jingjing, did you know that jaywalking was actually a crime in Beijing, or has been, since 2004?
I didn't know that, but you just told me. Thank
Okay,
you.
are you surprised?
A little bit.
Do you want to do a shocked face?
Go on.
I would like Stuart to do that because he can do better.
Okay. There was a reason I wanted you to do the shocked face, Jingjing, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, well, anyway, John Artman, do you think it's fair to penalise people crossing the road in China for jaywalking with a fine of 10 yuan?
Well, I think the fine itself is actually quite low, and it's not going to prevent anyone from
For someone
jaywalking.
earning as much as you,
Yeah,
yes.
it depends who it is.
Sure, but also, I mean, it's not exactly fair because half the time, especially with these big crossings, so for example, across the Third Ring Road, there's not enough time to cross the street while the man is green.
Especially because people are turning. They're turning legally, that's true, but they don't wait for the pedestrians, and so, you know, you have to wait for the cars to go, and by the time they've all gone, it's red again. Yes.
I jaywalk regularly. I hope that doesn't
Don't
result
say
in
that on air!
a retrospective fine.
Admittedly,
But
no one's watching,
But because you can jaywalk in Britain.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no law against that.
Okay. Do you think it would... Oh, you've broken the bell. Okay. What is it, Jingjing?
I just want to support my teammate because I have jaywalked
I've jaywalked.
before. Yeah.
Jaywalk.
Have you jaywalked?
Never.
Okay, you and me, we are the bastions of morality.
liar.
and
I
legality.
I
always
saw you
wait.
jaywalking to this building today.
There's no crosswalk between my house and this
There is
building.
literally no traffic lights to cross at. But I have to say, I do wish the Chinese police would actually crack down on people that were doing something wrong, like the drivers that park all over the sidewalks, as you Americans call them.
Especially in the bike lanes. It's so annoying.
What they do is they park at the end of the bike lanes, which means that the entire length of the bike lane, maybe 50 meters, is unusable for everyone else.
Or
they
how
ruin
about
it
the
for
cars
everybody.
that drive the wrong way down
Oh,
the side streets or the...
I've seen police cars do that.
Well, well, if this police officer has anything to do with it, maybe they'll stop.
Well, he's not actually a police officer. The person that was
He's a
giving it out
yeah.
is one of those like volunteer
He's a
kind of
traffic
guys.
warden, is he
A
not?
Traffic warden.
Okay, but also I've noticed that they don't slow down at zebra crossings. If you try to cross at a zebra crossing, the car will beep you.
What is
yes.
what is the
Yeah, what's a zebra crossing?
For our American viewers, it's a zebra crossing.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
What do you call it
black
in your
and white.
country?
Call it a
Crosswalk.
crosswalk.
Okay, fine. Next story.
That actually
please,
makes more sense.
please.
Stupid Brits.
Okay, what is the relevance of this man in an iron suit? John Artman, I know you want to tell me.
Well, it's Iron Man.
It is Iron Man, and Iron Man specifically what number?
3.
Very well read. Okay, what's going on with Iron Man 3 in China, Jingjing?
Iron Man is gonna be shot in Beijing, and
Don't you
They're gonna
sound so
kill him?
nervous? I may go be. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's okay.
and a Chinese character will be added into this movie.
He will indeed. Can you tell me who that actor is?
Wang Xueqi.
He is indeed. He's going to be playing a character called Dr. Wu, which is Chinese for Dr. 5.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, marvellous. Do you know when they started filming in Beijing, John Artman?
I have no idea.
Okay, let me turn to the correct page of my
Recently.
notes. December the 10th they began filming.
Yeah, so recently.
Would you be happy if Robert Downey Jr. himself was here in Beijing?
Well, like
There he is,
every
he's in the
girl will
suit.
be happy.
Not necessarily.
No one knows who's in the suit, okay? It
I
could
can
be
tell
anyone.
it's his stance. It's him.
He's standing like Sherlock Holmes. Okay, why do you like Robert Downey Jr.?
Because he's handsome.
Okay, can I ask you, which one is more handsome? The mid-40s Robert Downey Jr. or the mid-40s Mr. Lau Luo?
They're equally handsome. They belong to the same category.
Didn't you used to work in PR? Oh, it's
Do you
obvious.
think Rob looks a bit like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark?
Do you
A
think
little
that
bit.
Stuart looks a bit like Pinhead from the Hellraiser films, except without the pins in his head? Okay.
I do.
John Artman, are you excited about a China set Iron Man 3?
Not really. I think it's going to probably end up being very similar.
It's not set in China, though, is it?
Part
of
of
it.
it happens in
It's not
China.
even in the trailer.
It's basically just because, well, that's because the trailer came out before they started shooting here.
Oh.
But, oh,
That'll be
well,
why.
yeah, go back to university.
So why are they filming in China at all?
Because they've made a deal with the production company DMG, which is based in China. Jingjing won't let me finish. Yes.
Yeah, I really want to say that it kind of sucks if they just want a Chinese face in this movie just because they cooperated with a Chinese.
Well, there was actually some
company.
controversy because that trailer was released, and DMG and some other people here in China were like, "What the heck, guys?" You know, because if you're releasing a trailer, that means most of the movie is already finished filming, right?
Yeah, well, these are probably just additional scenes to make DMG happy. And don't forget, if you actually work together with a Chinese production company, you are assured of a cinema release in China. So China's bringing in big money. Life of Pi has made much more in China than it has in the US.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good idea. But who has read the story of Wong Kong? Or, as I've got written here, Wang Kang.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Nope.
Would you like to say it in a Chinese way?
Wang Kang.
That's what I said the first time. Okay. He is actually a guy who is an Iron Man enthusiast who, along with his friends, actually built an Iron Man suit.
Oh, I've seen him.
Should we take a look at the video now?
Yeah.
Check it out. Wow, he's got his own Iron Man suit, although he looks like Ironmonger.
And a Captain America
shield.
Shield, yeah.
Okay, but that was a bit Avengers-y.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Can the shield deflect bullets?
No one's tried. And admittedly, all he did was dance and walk around an office. He didn't actually try to smash anything.
Now,
so
what was the suit made out of? Was it actually made out of metal, or is it just plastic?
Let's go online later and find that out. But Jingjing, if someone dressed up like Iron Man and came to your office and, you know, was interested in your heart, I mean emotionally, not physically, that would be mental, would you give it to them?
I would tell him apart and then see what's inside and then make my decision.
And if he was just
Sexy.
a robot, would you say no?
If you opened it up and it was Mr. Lawlaw. Okay. Amy, what about you? Do you think that dressing up like Iron Man or Ironmonger is a very sexy thing for a young man to do? Does it make him more sexy, or does it make him appear like a total dork, a dweeb, a nerd,
You know what?
a
That's the
wastoid?
#1 way to my heart.
What, dressing up like a...
Like
I thought the #1 way to your heart was falling onto the train tracks.
Okay, the #2 way to my heart then.
Okay, if
dressing as
Iron
like,
Man fell onto the train
Combine the
tracks,
two.
wow,
yeah,
that'd
if
be
Iron Man
amazing.
falls on the tracks and I need to save him, done.
Okay,
Gotta
so
get married.
if you want to get Amy's heart, then you know what to do. John Artman, have you ever dressed up like a comic book character?
I think I dressed up as...
Ginger Hitler!
That's not a comic book character.
Is it not?
No,
It's from my personal comic book collection.
I think I dressed up as Spider-Man when I was very young.
Okay, how did you shoot stuff out?
Did you
There
call
was no-
yourself John Spiderman?
No.
John Spartman.
Like,
Okay,
yeah.
but it's getting silly
Spartman.
now. Not that it hasn't been already. Jingjing, if you could choose to dress up as a particular movie character, who would it be?
It would be you. I would just buy this busy red scarf and then put it on me. I would be a big star.
Wow, okay. I'd like to see you dressed up like Demi Moore in Striptease. Okay, but anyway, let's quickly wrap things up now. I think that's more than enough. So, John Artman, did you have fun?
Of course.
And what about you, Amy?
Yeah,
Jingjing?
yeah.
Oh, glorious. And finally, Stuart Wiggin.
I had lots of fun.
Okay, let me just get the prize, which is to my side here. This is a CRI calendar. Although we have no actual working technology, we can afford to make these wonderful calendars on wood. It can be used as firewood or a breakfast tray table, or indeed a calendar. This calendar, in fact, goes to our regular visitor, Jingjing. Very well done.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's because she's the only one who didn't get
Stuart,
one
I
for
hope
free
you like
through
it.
work.
I've got 10.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, I've got 5. Okay, anyway, let's wrap it up. But before we do, don't forget to check out, oh, you can have the box as well, because it's worth nothing without the box. I signed it as well. Okay, don't forget to check out the show on Weibo, which is down below, and also the email address if you want to email in with anything at all. Doesn't really matter. So, that's just about it for C4 this week. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.